Welcome everyone to the very first His and Hers Google Hangout live broadcast. I'm your girl, Luce Diva, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview for those of you who are not familiar with the Blog Talk Radio online show that we have on our channel, Two Sides of the Story Production. His and Hers is basically a roundtable discussion of different events. It could be relationships, it could be questions in reference to relationships or life in general. And we just kind of talk about it and we get both sides of the story from both guys and girls. Sitting next to me is the one and only, the CEO of Two Sides of the Story Productions and my partner in crime on life and everything else, Mr. Poetry. How you feeling, honey?
I'm doing pretty good. Welcome, everybody. This is groundbreaking, and I hope everybody has a good time.
Okay, and we also have one of newcomer to the team, Miss Diamond. How are you doing here? How are you feeling about this? This is going to be different for you a little bit.
I mean, I'm good. I've done talk radio before, so I pretty much, know what to expect. So
Okay.
I'm just ready to get it rolling.
All right. Is this your first live broadcast on Google Hangouts with anyone or?
Yeah, as far as live, this is the first time I've done it live this way.
Okay. And of course, we have the one only incomparable Miss Free. Hey, Free. Hey, Boo.
Hey,
How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm so good. I'm excited about this whole live broadcast thing. I'm excited.
Me
So
too. This is different. So I feel like we're just gonna get a whole different kind of following for free now. Free to free it. And of course, we cannot be a complete team tonight without the other gentleman who is on our team, the incomparable and the bishop extraordinaire, Mr. Eddie Kane.
Eddie Kane.
What's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? I am. I'm excited. I'm geeked. I'm ready. Y'all might as well just buckle your seatbelts because it's gonna be a good ride.
It is. I believe it. I believe it. Tonight's discussion is going to be the state of dating in 2015. Because we've talked about dating before, but I feel like the further along we go in, like, just along in life, it just changes. The dynamic of dating has changed so much from what it was back when, you know,
Hell, 3 years
our
ago.
parents were dating to
Let's really not to go that far back. 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years
Yeah.
ago, nobody was worried about eating the booty like groceries.
It was taboo just a few years
No.
I'm still not. So
I haven't really. I don't recall that song. I'm not familiar with it. The only reason I know is because he's told me about it.
The chick said, I can have your man doing something with her, and he go want to eat the booty like groceries. First of all, how do you eat the booty like, say, groceries? Because no one has explained that to me just yet. I need some kind of analysis on how that can be done, because I've never even heard of that. Second of
It's
all,
a new kind of concept.
right, why?
it's just
Why?
it's like a metaphor
I
to
try
try
to
to
eat
cook
the
off.
booty like groceries.
Um, yeah, I never grasped the concept of the whole groceries thing, but okay, whatever floats whoever's boat, I guess.
I mean, people used to toss salads. So it's like 2015, we gotta change it up. We need a new
It's not
metaphor.
salad anymore. It's eat the booty like groceries.
Groceries, like he got an EBT card, like
It's going to be one of those type of shows. It's going to be one of those type of shows.
yeah. Oh, I can tell.
All right, so how do we want to start this off?
We can just start it off.
Who
So,
wants to go first?
who's single right now? Let me ask that question.
Yours truly.
Okay. Is there something you want to tell me?
No.
Okay, so since you guys are single, how do you feel about dating in 2015?
I will let the lovely lady go first.
Okay, well, Free.
Her face.
Is the struggle that real?
Dating in 2015 sucks. It sucks. Like, it sucks donkey balls. Like,
Oh wow.
I'm sad to be single in 2015 and looking for a mate because it seems damn near impossible to find a person who is first local, because I make great connections, but they're never local. Second,
That's hard.
You gotta get them frequent flyers on. Gotta see if the groceries can travel.
to be beat, and I'm not going to be doing that. But like on your level, on your same wavelength, because if you guys know me, I'm not like the normal everyday chick. I have,
I can agree with that.
that appeal to me. I need a mental connection. I need someone with an extensive vocabulary.
You need stimulus.
I need that. I really do.
Outside physical stimulus.
Right.
I also need someone who can deal with my sarcasm, because if you don't know me, then I may hurt your feelings.
Yeah,
So,
badly.
my sense of humor is a bit different. I kind of like to lightly roast on my mate, but I can take it. You know what I mean? I'm a shit talker, so I want to be able to have someone that I can talk shit to and then still talk about the stars and the planets and what my purpose is on Earth. Like, I want all of that. So it sucks right now, because all dudes right now, they want to brag about how good their dick game is, or tell me that they eat groceries. Or asking me what that mouth do. Like, that is not an appropriate date question. Do not ask me what that mouth do.
What that mouth do?
So,
If y'all can ask, never mind. I ain't even gonna say the phrase. I'm not gonna even say the phrase. I'm not gonna say the phrase. Nope.
You hurt your lips right now. Hurt shit.
That's my of dating.
Don't you even get started.
Nobody is really solid. Like, I don't even save numbers anymore on my phone. Like, I don't even save them. Just thinking about
That's bad.
real bad. That's real bad. Okay.
What about you, Eddie? From a male's perspective.
Yeah, it beyond sucks, man. From a male perspective, it beyond sucks. Cause as Free politely put it, to have somebody on your wavelength, same wavelength as you. Yeah, female-wise, a lot of these females, man, I feel like I would be dating my little sister. That's what it seems like. That's where their mental level is on. Like,
That's not good.
they don't know nothing past Beyonce or like Lil Wayne or something like that. Like, that's just, to have an intelligent conversation with most women nowadays is rare. Because most of them, if you are not talking about taking them shopping, or you're not talking about how much of a Nicki Minaj fan you are, you get nowhere with them.
Bad bitches.
That too. That too. Or if you're not broadcasting that you're a real nigga, you just
Right.
yeah. So I mean, it really is, man. It's bad. It's real bad. It's bad. And then it's almost like
This is
it's almost like then you got the sisters that they want you to be able to cook with your feet while you're babysitting you know, I mean, you meet these sisters that have these unrealistic standards for what they claim they want in a mate, and it's like, are you serious? Like, I need you to reevaluate what you say you want.
Well, since you brought up standards, let's go from there. Do you feel like the standards for dating, or what's considered dating in 2015, is completely different from, let's say, 3 or 4 years ago?
They are completely different. Completely different. Without question, they're completely different.
I can say yes. Or it's obviously not from experience, but it's just from what I see from our mutual friends who are single and dating in this day and age, and people who are close to us that are like, it's just so hard to make that connection with somebody, and actually, like you guys are saying, it's just difficult to just find somebody who is just going to understand you and at least be as close to your level as possible without you having to without you having to lower those standards.
Right.
I'm saying because it is because you're either meeting someone that either wants you to settle, or as I stated a few minutes ago, you're meeting someone, from my perspective, a female that has these unrealistic standards of what she thinks a real man is, or quote unquote what is being considered a real man now.
I mean, I feel like this
for a minute, because I have a problem with the whole real man sentiment, because everybody has a meme on what a real man is. A real man would pay for his woman's hair. Well, a real man shouldn't have to buy her hair because maybe she needs to grow her own.
I second that. I second that.
3 times a week, because that's what real men do. Maybe she needs to learn how to cook. I don't like the stigma that a man is supposed to act a certain way to be considered a real man. A real man is not what you do; it's how you carry yourself.
Right. I can definitely agree.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody finally said that. Thank you.
I mean, I feel like this, and my opinion on it is, I feel like in any relationship, whether it's friendship, siblingship, a love relationship, you absolutely should not ask for anything that you're not willing to give. And that's where it starts. Most people get in relationships for all the wrong reasons, for what a person can do for them instead of finding genuine love. Like that Graham and Grant type love, that's where it's at. But a lot of people not into that. A lot of people don't take the time to become friends first. They got to find out how good the sex is before they make a decision. Hell no. Like, that's absolutely not where it's at. And most of the time, that's not, why it doesn't last, because you don't even know the person that you're dealing with.
Right. I can completely and totally agree with that. I think for us, that's kind of what made it work for us, because he and I go back and forth, and as you spend more time with us, you'll see the exchanges that Poetry and I have. And I see Eddie laughing over there.
What I can say about our marriage, because if you're not aware, me and Dulce Diva, we are married. What I can say about our marriage, we built our marriage on a foundation of friendship, open communication, and brutal honesty.
Yeah.
We are brutally honest. There are some times where she's like, you didn't have to tell me that. But I'd rather she hear it from me, somebody that loves her and care about her, than somebody that's trying to put her down or put her in a negative aspect.
I also think tact. You can be completely honest, but also be tactful about it. And sometimes he leaves tact at the door. So I completely agree with being brutally honest, but there's also tact that should be involved.
I mean, in some cases, it comes out the way it comes out. You don't mean for it to come out that way, but at the moment, it just happens. So,
you see this couch behind us that we're sitting on? He's going to be sleeping on this real soon.
It's actually pretty comfortable, so I don't care. Pretty comfortable.
How you going to put him on the couch, though? Like, for real? I mean,
This guy. But yeah,
It's
it's true. People are not. They're not becoming. They're not establishing that friendship, and you get to know a person by just being a friend. You
Absolutely.
actually get to know them more when you're
but
their friend.
but nowadays people, men and women, don't know how to do that. They
Right.
don't know how to get to know a person by talking to them and asking questions and all this type of stuff. It's, oh, I think you look good. You think I look good. Let's just go straight to the bedroom.
But
And
you also got to
afterwards,
look at the
boom.
fact that things are so much different. You know, back in the day, you actually had to sit and have telephone conversations to find out the things that you
Right.
wanted to find out. Now everything is technology and it's just
Yeah.
there. Nobody takes the time to have those conversations and dig deep to find out, what they need to know.
Yeah.
It's become such a microwave society. No one wants to put the time into it. It's always let's get where we want right now.
Hmm.
If we can
Right.
get there in 2 or 3 minutes less or less, great. Let's get there. But no one wants to take that effort and make that perfect meal from scratch.
Hmm. Yeah. It's a process, and people don't want to go through the process anymore, and it's so sad because
Exactly.
Right.
before, and I think that's one of the things that me and poetry ended up doing. Like we actually did talk a lot on the phone, and this is somebody who doesn't he
I
doesn't.
hate talk. I will tell you right now, unless you are dying, don't call.
Well, she got you to talk, so now what?
And the funny thing is, our first conversation lasted like 3 hours. We were on the phone for like
No, I was
three
more than
hours.
3 hours. I had just made it home from work, and at that time, I was working the night shift from 11 to 7:30, and I had a journey from Fort Belvoir.
It was like
If you're
it,
familiar
it
with
was
the
a two
DMV
it was a
area,
2 hour commute
yeah,
each way.
from Fort Belvoir to Southeast DC on the bus and train.
Yeah.
So that was a 2 hour trip. By the time I made it home, it was like 10:30. Usually, by the time I got out the train, I was on the phone with her. I was walking in the door on the phone with her, and I usually fell asleep on the phone, not realizing I was still on the phone with her. It happened a couple of times, but generally don't like talking on the phone. For someone to make me want to talk on the phone with them, that's half the battle.
Right.
So, we did keep it a little bit old school by actually having phone conversations and actually doing, and being interactive, and just kind of just doing the old fashioned stuff, just hanging out, just whether we were going to the movies or bowling or whatever the case was,
A quarter pounder at the McDonald's.
or a lunch date at like California Tortilla.
It happens.
But see, as you said, y'all put in the work,
We
and
did.
y'all did stuff to the fact that y'all were able to find a mutual liking or had a mutual liking for. It is so hard nowadays to truly find someone that you like, as we've constantly said, find a connection with, to just for the simplicity of it, the simplicity of getting to know each other. Like
Yeah.
so many people want to complicate it, or like, oh, if you don't take me here on the first date, then you're not worth my time, and this and that. And it's like, hold up, wait a minute. We still in the get to know each other phase. Pump your brakes.
I don't even know what your birthday is.
Right,
Exactly.
but I feel like intellectual sexiness is the most attractive feature that a person can possess. Like, if you can't stimulate me mentally, I can't talk to you. I'm sorry. Like, interest is gone. Like,
You're not getting the draws.
right. You're not getting the drawers. But a lot of people don't see past that. A lot of people think, sexual conversation is what's stimulating. I mean, all of that is the bonus down the line later. But I want to see where your mind at, like the type of head you got
But
on your
that,
shoulders. Like, can you articulate
unfortunately,
yourself?
for most people nowadays, that is where their mind is at. It's
Right.
on the sexual aspect. That's why they're so
Yeah.
able to be so elaborate and detailish with it. I can
Well,
find a
that's
chick.
why a lot of people got friendly. Yeah. Mhm.
That's why they get this.
We were listening to
That's easy. to sit here and talk about how you like it and how you do this and how you do that. That's
But that
an easy
house food,
conversation to have. But I need you to be able to stimulate me in some other ways, because if I do go there with you and you don't even deliver on half the things that you said, then that's
But at the same time, all other connections got to be there first. If all the other connections are there first, then it makes the physical connection that much better. So yeah, a lot of people don't get it though, but okay.
But it's only a handful of us that think like that though nowadays.
Right.
I feel like
Truthfully, too.
this new generation, they don't get it. The new generation,
don't.
They do not get it. I feel like it's a communication thing. The ones that do get it are very few and far between.
Right.
becoming
the social era is like a double-edged sword. Like, as much as it's been great to make connections with people around the world, it has made it so easy to dismiss people because you feel like you can meet 100 other people today.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that also, I feel like that's a big factor in it, because it's like it's too easy to give up on a situation too.
Right.
Like, I can find Tim on you.
Okay, so then that begs the question then, has social media been more of a hindrance to the dating scene than a help?
It's a catch-22.
You got it.
Yeah, that's like a double-edged sword right there. Because you have to look at the mentality of the person and what they subject themselves to and what they allow, truth from fiction. A lot of people think the social media thing is their life, which is, I never understood, but I guess whatever works.
The best situation I have had with somebody is a person who is not on Facebook, who doesn't have an Instagram, who isn't on social media. Like this.
Honestly, I could give it up. Like social media, I could give that up with no problem. I can deactivate everything and still be good with going on with my life. Like, it's entertainment for me.
I mean, I think social media is like Free says, a catch-22. It's pretty much what you make it. If you let social media take over your life, that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to mess up your relationships, your friendships, everything.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take it as is, not saying that you don't have to involve your life in social media, because it's kind of hard to separate your life from social media when a lot of your life is on social media. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to let it consume you. And that's where people get it twisted. When you are on Facebook, MySpace, Tag, Meet Me, Zeus, you can name more social media sites than they have commercials for. That's when you kind of let social media take over your life, and you need
I agree.
I agree, because I listen to a lot of commercials and I work in the IT field.
I wasn't even said that anymore. What the hell? I wasn't even sad.
You was like, you know all.
No, because I was actually thinking of how many more there are.
There's a bunch.
I know.
And then,
I was actually thinking of other ones that you didn't even mention, so I wasn't even side-eyeing you. I was actually agreeing with so many things, so many stuff that's out there. Yes. So I was agreeing with you instead of side-eyeing you. Why are you... Why are you doing all that?
But in all seriousness, though, it's exactly what you make it. I mean, let's take for example, Ashley Madison. Everybody's aware of what happened with the Ashley Madison site. A whole bunch of people were busted because they let a social media site get so involved in their life that they put themselves in a predicament to get busted like that.
That's what they get. I'm glad. That's what they get.
I mean, yeah. When you start just getting completely engrossed and involved, you know.
When you're so stuck in social media, you are willing to pay a site to cheat without thinking about, hey, this has my email, my credit card information. It might have my blood type on that motherfucker. And
it might.
To them,
Idiots.
Everything's going to be okay. Because they promised me everything is secret.
Right.
When it comes to the world of technology, nothing you do is secret.
No, no.
Absolutely nothing.
No, no.
No, even if you do something on paper, it's not secret.
Well, with paper, you can at least get rid of the trail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a way to keep it as secret as possible. With technology, your digital imprint will be there after you die.
You know, I just lost respect for all those people because, you know, you're supposed to put in hard footwork in order to cheat. You're supposed to go out to the club and meet somebody in person and cheat respectably. But your ass got on Madison.
You're supposed to go to the club, meet Shanika from around the corner.
Wait a minute. You're not supposed to do none of that. What the hell y'all talking about? I quit. You're not supposed to do none of that, bitch. If you go to the club, you're out and about and meet somebody while you're in a relationship. Or you do that shit on social media. You're not supposed to do none of it. That's why I say again, don't ask for what you're not willing to give, because if you want loyalty from your partner, you gotta give loyalty in return. Like, what the hell? I quit. I'm going to the corner. I'm gonna sit over here.
What I'm saying is, I don't condone cheating.
No.
All I'm saying is, if you go cheat, at least be smart about it.
No, not if you're gonna cheat. Jesus, I quit.
Can we be honest?
On me, you better not let me find out. You better choke that bitch out before she ever let me know that you was cheating on me. Like, you take that shit to heart, to your grave. Don't ever let me find out that you're cheating. I just accept the harsh reality of people, and people are flawed. People will fuck up. They will do some shit.
No, but see, here's my thing on cheating. Like, for whatever reason, I call them excuses. There's no reason in the world or excuse in the world where you should cheat. None at all. My thing is, because if I feel like I gotta cheat, I'm leaving. Like, bottom line, because that says to me that you no longer have my attention if I'm going to seek something from somebody else. Either we gonna work it out and get it together, or we gonna go our separate ways. Like, I don't have time for it. I don't do games.
But unfortunately, again, there's very, very few people that think on that mental level that you are talking about.
Right.
And it is true to some fact that, let's just be honest, we all encounter temptation every day. We all have something to some fact that all of us encounter something, some sort of temptation every day. Now, depending on whether or not to some fact how strong you are, and how well you are as far as self-control and self-discipline. I mean, hey, let's be. My boy just said it. The flesh is weak for many of people.
I'll give you that as far as the temptation thing, but at the same time, when a person cheats, do they really take the time to stop and think about the hurt that they're putting on the person that they're with?
I mean, of course not, because at that particular point in time,
and they want loyalty in return. The same person that's cheating wants loyalty in return. Which, excuse me, is a whole bunch of bullshit, because you're not going to get loyalty if that's what you're doing.
Cheating is a selfish act. When a
it's
person
very selfish.
They are only thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about what my mate is going to, suffer from this if they find out. They're only thinking about what they want to satisfy for themselves at that moment. Mm-hmm. I understand the behavior. 90% of us are going to do selfish things that serve us first. That's just the way we are. We're humans. We're creatures. We want to do what makes us happy. Sometimes it lines up with the people we love, and sometimes it doesn't. I accept that part of human beings. I'm just saying, if you're going to cheat on me, don't ever let me find out. Don't ever let me find out.
Okay,
but see, Free, you kind of crazy, Free. So I would hope
But let's ask this question: in the cases of people that cheat, how many people look at what they're not getting, but don't look at what they're not giving?
Very few.
Exactly. It's always you weren't doing, but you're not looking at the fact that they weren't doing because it's something that you weren't doing in return.
Oh, Lord.
I don't believe you're cheating behavior on somebody else. I think cheating is solely your own personal act, because
I can't agree with that. I'm sorry, I have to disagree with that to a degree.
Disagree
In
with
some
what?
cases, cheating is a reactory decision on specifically what people do. It happens. Should it happen? No, because two wrongs don't make a right. But in certain cases, people cheat because of what other people have done, said, or both. It happens.
Okay, well that's okay. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm gonna shut up.
No, 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 no. Now I can confirm with what he just said simply because
Yeah.
I'm about to tell him myself.
Go ahead. Tell her
Um,
you something. Go ahead.
Wow.
I was messing with a woman. I
Hmm.
was messing with a woman, and I found out some facts said a woman was married or whatever. And when I found out her reason for why she was stepping out was because I was giving her the attention and the affection that her husband was no longer giving her. And that's
So
how
why didn't she go to her
I got
husband and try to
in.
work that out?
Hey,
I just think that type of
Why
stuff.
didn't she go to her husband and try to work that out though?
I can't answer that
I
question.
I just
Because if
people.
her husband would have stepped out and went seeking another woman to do the same thing, she'd have been mad.
More than likely.
Most cheaters
Damn, more
never
than
would have
likely she
done
would have
that.
been.
Never. Cheating. One thing I can agree with this whole conversation on cheating. Cheating is a selfish act, and no one wants it to happen to them.
At all.
But
At all.
when they
But
are
many of
on
us
the
do
good
it.
side of it, and they do it, it's a completely different story. And I think a lot of people are more so trying to explain the situation because let's be honest, there's no excuse for cheating. I can do
Exactly
it
not.
all day, every day. There is no excuse. But for some
None.
people, knowing why helps a whole lot more than not knowing at all.
The answer to why is simple because they chose to.
Exactly. That's the why answer right there.
They chose to cheat. It has nothing to do with you. You can name all the reasons why I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I forgot your favorite color, I didn't have dinner ready for you. All that other shit, it don't matter. You still chose to stay in this relationship and be a
Mm.
cheater and that's your choice. Because you could have left my ass if I was that bad.
Right. I agree. If you were that
But but
unhappy,
we
please.
but we okay. That's the right thing to do. Let's be for real. That right there, what she just said, is the right thing to do.
But
But let's
that's
be
not
honest.
perfect world.
Everybody's not doing the right thing.
Right.
Everybody's not going to walk away, even though the simple fact they know that is a viable option. But for some, because depending on the other aspects of that relationship that they're getting and satisfied with, they will stick around. Particularly if that other party is doing something for them in an area that they know this party that they're cheating on them with will not compensate or do. That's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
And basically, in a perfect world, we wouldn't have these problems.
Right.
People that are no longer happy in their relationship will leave each other. People that are no longer happy in their marriage will get a divorce. People that are no longer happy would find happiness within themselves, and we wouldn't have cheating. But the sad part about it is we live in an imperfect world, and the reality is cheating is going to happen.
It is going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
It is going to happen. Like lying, cheating is going to happen. It is unavoidable.
Things have to stop, but okay.
And it's inevitable. It's something that's going to happen whether you like it or not.
And since we're on the subject of lying, do you feel like the number of people lying about faking it to make it has gone up when it comes to dating in 2015? Because yes. By leaps and bounds.
Faking it to make it.
let me explain what I mean by faking it to make it.
Yeah, because
I meet you. Let's say we're not married. I meet you, and I tell you I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that, and I don't have none of that.
Okay.
So I'm faking it to make it.
Right.
And some people go to extremes to make sure they're faking it to make it.
Wow.
They'll get cars from their friends. They'll buy clothes. They'll go to serious extremes to fake it until they make it.
That's just too much. That is just.
I know a couple people like that.
Like,
You know what I mean?
Why would you put yourself in that situation where you're living beyond your means, just because you're trying to date somebody who has, a certain level of their own level of standards or whatever, and if you don't have all of that, why would you put yourself in a situation where you're gonna stretch yourself thin financially?
Because they're trying to see what that mouth do.
Right.
Exactly.
Will not entertain a man unless they feel like he has money. That's just the way they are.
And I know several females. Like that. I know several females that on the first date, if you're not taking them somewhere somewhere expensive to where the dinner costs over $100, they're not talking to you. You can move on.
And
Yes.
unfortunately, some of these females come across a friend of mine who he feels like he has to teach them a lesson. So he'll go borrow his friend's foreign car. He'll go to the club that his friend owns and gets VIP and free and all this other stuff, because you're thinking like he's cashing out for you. Like, oh, he got me VIP and he picked me up in his car and all this other stuff. And then when he smashes and doesn't hit you back, you look stupid. That's
Okay, I'm gonna chime in on that one too. I feel like women that do that, like, you set yourself up to be played. To be perfectly honest with you.
I mean, pretty much when you put a price tag on a pussy, we'll find a way to
Right.
get the price. Let's be honest. We men, we resourceful. We'll find a way to get to the price. If that's the price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But don't be surprised when we bring
I
you back to the
agree,
store
but
until we're done.
Return.
I want a full refund.
hell no.
yeah. Good.
But he's telling the truth though. He's telling the truth. He's telling the absolute positive. He's telling the truth. At the end of the day, trust me. I got boys that trust me. If it's the chick that they want bad enough, as far as like getting in between her legs, these brothers will go to the extreme to make her believe he's everything that she claims she wants. And afterwards,
You know what? That's honestly why I don't answer that question. I get that question a lot. What do you like in a man? I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to make it easy for you, because that's going to make it easy for you to try to be everything that I'm looking for. Hell no. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to view your character. I'm going to observe all of that and then, make my decisions from there.
That's smart. That's a very, very smart.
That's a real, because if you tell me something, I'm going to sell you that dream all day.
dude, well, I'm telling you, we'll sell it to you quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Actually, what kind of man you want. If you tell me what you want or what you like, please don't get mad when I sell you that.
Right. And in most cases, when you do that, the person that you're telling that, they're going to do everything that they can to be exactly what you're looking for and paint that facade and that fallacy of themselves. So, while you're selling them the dream and they're getting all caught up, not knowing that at the end of the day, you're their worst goddamn nightmare, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm
That's waste of time.
on a little secret. And Eddie, I know this is against guy code, but we got to break it for a second.
Uh-oh.
The truth of the matter is, when you say men ain't shit, women are right to a degree.
To a degree.
Because a man, to a degree, is willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants out of you. Now, what he wants out of you depends on you. For some women, it may just be sex. I may just want sex out of you. For some women,
So why can't men be honest enough to say that? Because
There
there
are
are some women, if you say you just want sex, then they'll just give you that. If that's what they want, okay, thank you and see you later.
There are men that are that honest. That they're like, I just don't want a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I'm not ready for it. I just want to see where things go.
I'm brutally honest about stuff like that. I don't have time to sit here and play games like, oh, I'm gonna be playing. Fuck that. I want to see what that mouth do, and maybe I'll call you back later.
Hell no.
I'm just,
You gotta respect it, though.
at least you can respect the fact that I told you up front exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. I
I
can
mean, I
nothing
feel
but
like the
respect.
guy that plays games is the one that go through the, oh, I want to get to know you, this, that, and the other. No, tell me what you really want. Because if that's what I want,
Listen,
then thank you, and I'll see you later.
I have no problem with letting it be known from the gate what I desire. And that way, the simple fact, I ain't wasting your time. I'm not wasting my time. So I'm gonna let you know what I want right from the gate. At the end of the day, the simple fact, if I just simply, if I'm just lusting and just want to fulfill that lust, I'm gonna tell you. But if I feel like it's something that is something more there, I'm gonna tell you that too. So you will never have to be confused with me. You'll never sit there and say, "Well, he confused me. He left me confused. I didn't know what you were saying this, but doing." No. You gonna know. I'm gonna make it plain. I'm gonna make it clear.
I can't. You know what? And I that's one thing that I respected about poetry because when we first started dating, he was talking to me and someone else, but he was honest enough, honest enough to let me know what was going on. And did I like it? No. But I can respect the fact that he was honest and was like, look, I like you, but somebody else. And I don't know which way it's going to go.
That's literally what I told him too. That's the funny part. That's literally what I told him.
I mean, but you gotta respect the fact that he was honest enough with you.
Oh, I did. I did. And that's why I left him alone for a while. I was like,
That's
you
another
got to find out who you are. If me and you are meant to, at some point, if we're meant to be more than friends, then cool. And if not, then hey, it is what it is. This is what happens when you are getting to know someone when you date someone just to see where things are gonna go. And but like I said, did I like it? No, I didn't like it. I was like, this ain't cool. I thought that it was just a me and him thing. And when he told me, I was like, okay. And we'll see how. I guess we'll see how this goes. And I noticed things, and I was like, okay, I guess it's my time to bow out gracefully. I didn't work out. I stopped talking to him.
Yeah, we just spent like an hour and a half.
And I can't see it being frank. I hit her with like a month later with one of those hey stranger texts. I can't even see
accident.
Like, hey, what's up?
2 days.
Like,
yeah, I'm like,
and I would give him those one
Excuse me.
the mobile responses just because it was something like I wasn't trying to play second fiddle to anyone, and at the same time I didn't want to. I don't want things to be there, but we had to have conversation like grown folks do. So, you have to, I think nowadays, what I feel like some of these females, I feel like women who know what they want, but they're also reasonable in what they want. Some of these females, they're not. They just want something they're just selfish, and then they want to claim that they're independent, and that's not how it goes. Like it doesn't blend. Like it doesn't click because they want to be independent, but they also want all these things that they have all these set quote unquote standards that the man has to make a certain amount and they got to be taken out somewhere. That's like Eddie was saying, they're going to spend more, at least about $100 on the meal and all the other stuff. That's just
They got more requirements than you would need for a loan.
I mean, I feel like this in cases like that. It's like, in my opinion, men treat women how they present themselves. So if you present yourself in a certain way, that's how he's going to treat you. And on that, the standards that women have, I feel like if you have all of these high standards, it's got to be bringing to the table exactly what you want from him.
Exactly.
Because if you're not, then you're hurting yourself in the long run. So don't say he got to make, 5-6 figures and you working at McDonald's. It's not going to work.
Right.
You can't say I need a house. I have to make this much money. I have to do this.
Right.
That, and all you coming with is a bucket.
I mean, my thing is this: in any case, male or female, I feel like everybody goes through whatever they go through. Everybody's not successful at certain points in times in their lives. But if you're with somebody that's ambitious and have drive to get, to reach their goal, then work with it. But then at the same time, don't expect everything to just be handed to you, because life isn't that easy. It doesn't happen that way.
Right.
Yeah, but that's the biggest problem with dating in 2015, because everybody has that mindset. Well, not everybody, but the majority of people that you come into contact with have this I want it when I want it mentality, and they're afraid to push. They can talk. You could come across a lot of people that can sit there and they can talk a good game. They can talk a good game. It's just when it comes time for that follow through, it's where they constantly falling short at, because they don't have.
But I mean, and speaking in my case, bro, you know me because you know me personally. I'm one of them type of women that I don't need you to have everything. As long as I see that you're working towards your goal, we're gonna build. We're gonna build this foundation and build this empire together. Like, I got you. But if you sitting around on your ass and just don't want to do nothing and you're not trying, I can't do it.
I can definitely agree with that. I don't do that. Because honestly, with us, we've been married for 2 years, going on 3, and where we were when we started dating compared to where we are now, we're on a different level. And I mean, we both started that. We didn't have a car. I didn't have a car when we started dating. We were metroing everywhere. Like, we were taking the bus. We would take metro everywhere. And even with our son, like, we would, anytime we would go out, sometimes we borrow my mom's car, but for the most part, we were doing the metro thing, and we just figure out ways of how to, figure out places that we could go that were metro accessible, that we would walk to the subway station and stuff. So, and as well as, his career-wise, he's in a different level now than he was before. So it's like, that's not where he wanted to be. But I also saw that, he's been talking about he wants to do this. It's just a stepping stone. And we would find contracts that would probably, that had the opportunity for him to lead him up to where he is now. And the same for me. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I think some people, they just are so selfish and so, they just want to be taken care of. And they don't want to actually work for it. That it want to be like, they just want to be spoon-fed everything. And that's not how this works. If you want a relationship that's going to last for a real long time, that's going to last all of eternity, you have to put work for it. Otherwise, it's going to fall apart. It's not going to last long at all.
I blame the media and music to a degree for some of that, because they've glamorized that lifestyle where everything is provided to you. And especially with impressionable kids to the degree they are today. Not because, back in the day, we can listen to a song about something and not go out and do it. But kids are so impressionable now. They listen to a song about popping a Molly, they're going to pop them out. Yeah. They are so impressionable, and that's part of the reason that now everybody wants something that is not equal. Whereas I feel like we're the last generation of people that were willing to be equally yoked with someone And even if you weren't there at that point, let's say you were here and they were there, if they were trying to get here, you were willing to work with them.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Right.
feel like
We're like the
the
last
more
generation to witness it. Like we're the last people to like our grandma. We seen them married to their husbands and given that balance, that evenly yoked type of situation. And a lot of these kids, I'm sorry, we're growing up in single parent homes. We're not seeing anybody love mommy. We're not seeing anybody love daddy. We're not seeing healthy relationships anymore. So how do we go? You know what I mean? Like I'm scared for my daughters. Because it's like, what type of man is going to be around for them to date?
Yeah.
you're right.
What's
I mean, I I feel like the morals and values that were instilled in us are not instilled in, the generations after us. I look at, like the Graham and Gramps type love. Women want men to take care of them. But you got to look at back in that day, the man provided the woman, but she took care of home. She made sure home was okay. She took care of the house, the family, the kids. She
Right.
cooked, made sure her husband came home to a hot plate every day, when he came home from work. She was submissive. And there's so many women that are not submissive and will not be that way because they think being submissive is being controlled when it absolutely is not.
Yeah, they
it's a
think
strong woman
they feel
has
like
to be a
being submissive it's a bad thing when it isn't. Well, in a
Right.
relationship, you both can't be right. Like in a situation where you know you have two individuals who are dealing with life. Like you were saying, back in the day, the man was working and the woman was staying at home and taking care of things. Her being at home and taking care of things, she was the queen of that house, and
Right.
she was treated as such because she was taking care of him while he was taking care of her. He was bringing in the bacon. He was bringing home the bacon. He was bringing that financial stability so that
Right.
he could have that home stability. And when he
Mhm.
came home, he was ready to just kind of relax and unwind. And they both were able to spend time together. You don't see that anymore. You don't
Exactly.
see it as often as you should see it now. And,
There's two.
that's where I think there's been a disconnect because our kids don't see that, and that's why I've been, even for me, like I was real particular about the fact, I'm raising a son. I wanted him to have somebody that can teach him how to be a man. He has his father, he has his biological father, he has a relationship with, but he also has got, if he's going to be around me, he needs to see somebody who's going to treat me with respect, who's always going to, um, he's going to be able to see how a woman should be treated, how a wife should be treated. And so,
Right.
there has to be a balance and there has to be a an example set, and it's really hard nowadays when you have a one parent household like Bree was talking about.
I think there's a few
You're right.
components to this whole submissive woman and the dying breed that I see happening. Is like we said, one, women don't even fully understand what it means to be submissive. They don't even
Right.
know the clear definition of what it is to be a submissive woman.
Right.
Uh, how many men are worthy of being submissive to? Because in
Right.
order to be submissive, you have to be able to trust his leadership. And if I
Right.
can't trust your leadership, then how can I ever be submissive to you?
Yeah.
I'm
But
going
he
to trust your
also,
able to let you take the lead. Lastly, is this whole independent woman stigma. Like there
oh,
is no, you cannot be claiming to be an independent woman and then expect your man to come to your house and empty your trash. Are you independent or not?
Yeah.
right. And I
Can't
totally
have it
agree
both
with
ways.
you on that free. Like I do. Like the whole independent woman thing, I don't need a man for nothing when actually you do. And that
Exactly.
whole, like you said, not understanding being submissive, but at the same time that goes both ways. A woman has to trust her king enough, to lead them in the right direction, but a king also has to know when to be submissive to his queen as well. And that's the only way it's gonna mesh together and work, the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, but it's just some women they don't know how to fall back though. You know what I
Right.
mean? Sometimes you just, even if you feel like, okay, I don't think it's going to work out the way he says it is, you still got to let him be the man. You still got to let him take that role. And if it doesn't work out the way he says, then we have to be there to support him. We have to be there to reassure him, and we have to be there with the other plan. Like, well, you know what, babe? Here's plan B. This is what I was thinking. You know what I mean? They don't know how to do that no more. They don't know how to do that.
And I think
not the sisters I've come across.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to the examples that are being set, because there's so many, this whole, well, I don't need a man thing, you know, like, I feel like, okay, it's yes, if you're an independent woman, you can take care of yourself, and yes, you can handle things on your own, but you also know, like Bree was saying, you know how to fall back and know how to give him a chance to shine at being a man, and letting him be the leader. You can't be independent and want somebody to be there with you when you don't act like it. Because if somebody feels unappreciated, they're not going to stick around.
Right.
They're not going to stick around. They're going to be like, oh, you know what? You want to be independent? Go ahead. I'm out. Go ahead and do you and be independent.
Be independent on your way out the door.
Yeah, pretty much.
And wash your own car and mow your own lawn.
Exactly. Take out your own trash. Change your own light bulb. Kill your own insects that's in your house.
There you go.
So it's for me, and I believe it's really a thing about. I don't believe it's been a long time since we've seen women be both independent and resilient, but also submissive. And you just have to know timing is everything. And these females now, they don't know nothing about that. They don't. It's hard to find a level-headed woman who will be like, okay, I know that, tired and coming home from work, and let's figure dinner out. Let's do this together. Or, or a man is coming home to a woman who's just nagging and yelling and just, popping off at the mouth. Guys aren't going to want that.
Hell no.
In 2015, you know what women are really missing? The shut the fuck up factor.
Oh, I was just getting ready to say that, Lord. I was just getting ready to say that. If you don't set your ass down somewhere and listen, I so agree, Bree.
If you could just learn how to just keep it mum. Just, that shut the fuck up factor. Like, you know what, this would be a good time for me to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
You know what needs to happen?
But they're not going to
happen when they're going popping off and
That's that TV though.
When that mouse and you just set them up.
What that mouse do?
But they're not going to do that, because the first time somebody suggests that, the first thing they think is that somebody's trying to take away their independence. Somebody's trying to sit up there and turn them.
Submissiveness comes in, and learning about that, because if you see your man coming through the door stressed out, you know what I mean? He got that look on his face like, damn, the world was really fucking with me today. And then you greet him with like 10 things that didn't get done while he wasn't at home today. Like, what is his rush in coming home anymore after work if all you're going to do is add to the stress of what didn't happen today? Sometimes
I'm gonna take my time. I ain't gonna come home if I know that as soon as I walk through that door, you gonna be on my neck too.
Let that man come home in peace. He paid a lot for that to be peaceful.
Right, I feel like going through all of that, and if you see your man coming home that way, the first question should at least be, how was your day? So what makes me mad about so many females is they don't understand that men deserve exactly what we want from them. You want somebody to listen, he wants somebody to listen. You want somebody, to give you their time and all. Like, whatever you want from him, you have to be given the same thing. You have to be.
It has to be reciprocated. I completely and totally agree.
Yeah, well, too, a lot of these sisters don't know how to do that. They don't, they don't know.
I learned from Big Mama. So guess what? This one right here.
But see, that's just it. No, man. Ain't no more big mamas, man. Ain't no more big mamas. Bernie Mac said it. Ain't no more big mamas. Ain't no more big mamas.
My grandmother
ain't no more big mamas.
Is good.
Quiet, but you knew that she ran that household, but she ran it from a quiet position. You know what I mean? She knew how to be a submissive woman, and I'm glad that I got to see that. I'm glad I got to see
it. I did as well. Like, I saw when her husband walked in the door, she was putting his hot plate on the table. Like, the second he's walking in the door, she's setting the plate on the table. She never emasculated him or challenged him in front of anybody. Any discussions that were had were in their bedroom behind closed doors. Like, man, I love it.
Thank you. They done forgot women. They done forgot.
It's about that time, y'all. It's about that time that we wrap it up. This has been interesting. This is fun. I don't know about y'all, but I really enjoyed it.
I did too.
Yeah. This is a different kind of take on what we already do every Friday night on His and Hers via Blog Talk Radio. And I am actually going to let Poetry kind of give us the lineup because I know things have changed a little bit. So go ahead, Big. Give us the lineup.
Well, as always, I want to say thank you to my wonderful host, Diamond, especially the new host. You fit in like a glove. Not an open glove. It's a regular glove. She did great, everybody.
She did.
I want to thank everybody that's going to watch the video. I want to thank everybody that did listen to the video. We appreciate you. This video actually is going to get uploaded directly to the Two Sides of the Story production tab. So as soon as it's done processing, it's going to be immediately available on the Two Sides of the Story production app. You can watch us go through all this craziness again directly from your phone. As always, we appreciate all the listeners, and I am about to give you the lineup, and I'm actually going to show it to you right here. Every other Monday, we have DMVF Unleashed, a Two Sides of the Story and Two Radio Network production. On Tuesdays, we have TSOTS interviews / talks. Sometimes we're talking about stuff. Sometimes we're interviewing people. Wednesdays, we have the Skybox, one of the #1 shows for your sports-related news, updates, everything. Thursday, Mic Check, the #1 spot for underground and mainstream music. And Friday, of course, you have us, His and Hers. We'll be doing this once a month. We don't want y'all to get too tired of us. So next week, you'll join us back on Blog Talk Radio. But we do appreciate y'all for coming through on Google Hangouts. I'm going to check us out on Facebook, TSOTS Presents Collective Insights, the Skybox, the Hangout. You can check us out on the website, www.twosideofthestory.com. Since we are on Google+, you can check us out on Google Plus now, Two Sides of the Story, at gmail.com.
And all of the shows on Blog Talk Radio come on at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I know we talked about the line.
They're always going to be 10 p.m. Eastern, Standard Time. Whatever time zone.
Yes. And also, tomorrow we actually have a very special episode. It's about, we're talking about Hurricane Katrina and the 10 years since Katrina came through and caused damage. But Poetry will get into the and that's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right. It's a special show for me because anybody that knows me knows I'm originally from New Orleans. And I don't like calling it an anniversary because usually when I hear anniversary, I think of something I want to celebrate. I don't like celebrating this. So it's going to be.
I'll explain it in a minute.
It's a serious episode, and we're going to have some real talk. So if you want some real talk about Hurricane Katrina, be here tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, www.blogtalk.com/Two Sides Productions. I'm Poetry. This is Dulce Diva. We have Free, Bishop Eddie, and Diamond. Shout out to Almond Joy. She wasn't able to be here tonight, but she'll be back next week. And we are out. Deuces.
Bye, guys.
Deuces.
Nice.